Okay, so you've sent in tons of research about the next crypto bull run, and you want to know which kinds have the most potential.
Right.
It seems like everyone's predicting a bull run,
Yeah.
and you want to be ready to ride that wave.
For sure.
But how do we even begin? I mean, the crypto landscape is huge.
Well, it all started with Bitcoin.
Yeah?
It's the original cryptocurrency. And even with all these new cryptocurrencies, it's still seen as the gold standard by a lot of people.
Right, Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's like the foundation of crypto.
Yeah.
And I've been reading a lot about how institutional adoption is a big reason why it's so valuable.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're seeing more and more big companies, even hedge funds, and even some governments are starting to add Bitcoin to their portfolios.
Okay.
That kind of mainstream acceptance really gives legitimacy to the entire crypto space.
It's like a seal of approval from the traditional financial world.
Exactly.
But Bitcoin's not the only big player. You also mentioned Ethereum as a strong contender.
Ethereum is really interesting because it's more than just a currency.
Okay.
It's a platform where you can build decentralized applications by using smart contracts.
Okay.
Smart contracts are basically self-executing agreements written in code.
Okay.
And these have the potential to completely change how we interact and do business.
So with Ethereum, it's not just about the money.
No.
It's about the technology
Yeah.
and how it could change the world.
Exactly.
Now, I remember reading about a recent upgrade to Ethereum
Yes.
that made it more efficient.
Right.
Something about proof of stake.
Yeah, the switch to proof of stake was really important.
Right.
It addressed a main criticism of the original proof of work system,
Right.
which was that it used a lot of energy. Proof of stake is way better for the environment, and it also makes it more scalable.
What does that mean?
It means that Ethereum can handle a lot more transactions every second.
So it's becoming faster,
Yes.
greener,
Yes.
and probably more widely adopted.
Exactly.
But I think our listeners want to hear about more than just the big names.
Sure.
What are some other coins that have caught your attention?
Well, one that's really interesting is Solana.
Okay.
It's been getting a lot of attention because it's so fast and has low fees.
Right. I've seen people compare it to a high-speed train,
Exactly.
just zooming past all the traffic jams on other networks.
Right.
But does focusing on speed have any drawbacks?
Yeah.
Does it impact security or decentralization?
That's a really good question.
Yeah?
Speed is a big plus for Solana, but some people argue that the way it achieves that speed might actually centralize control.
Interesting.
Which goes against a core idea of crypto,
Yeah.
which is decentralization.
Right.
Developers are always working on these challenges.
It seems like it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
Speed, security, and decentralization.
That's right.
What about Polkadot?
Okay.
It sounds like it's trying to connect all the different parts of the crypto world.
Yeah, think of Polkadot like the United Nations of blockchains.
Okay.
Its goal is to connect all these different blockchains so they can work together.
Instead of blockchains existing on their own,
Yeah.
Polkadot is trying to create a network where they can communicate with each other.
Exactly.
That's fascinating.
It's called interoperability,
Okay.
and it has so much potential.
Yeah.
Imagine a future where you can easily move assets and data between different blockchains.
Okay.
That would open up so many possibilities for the crypto space.
So Polkadot's not just connecting blockchains.
Right.
It's connecting all the things that use blockchains.
Yeah, like businesses and products and consumers.
That's incredible.
It's a whole new way of thinking about connection.
Okay, before we get too far ahead of ourselves,
Sure.
I want to talk about a coin you mentioned called Chainlink. It seems to be doing something different.
Chainlink solves a really important problem for smart contracts. They need reliable data from the outside world to work properly.
Right.
And Chainlink provides that connection.
Interesting.
It's like an oracle,
Okay.
bringing real-world data to the blockchain.
Okay.
This makes things like decentralized insurance, supply chain tracking, and even prediction markets possible.
So it's the bridge between the blockchain and the real world.
Exactly.
I'm starting to understand why that's so important for these decentralized applications.
As DeFi grows and smart contracts become more advanced, the need for something like Chainlink is only going to increase.
So we've got Bitcoin, the original Ethereum, the platform builder, Solana, the speed demon, Polkadot, the network connector, and now Chainlink, the bridge to the real world. That's already quite a group.
It is.
What else is on your radar?
You mentioned that our listener is interested in trading.
Right.
And for that, we should definitely talk about Uniswap.
Right.
It's a decentralized exchange.
What does that mean?
It means that users can trade cryptocurrencies directly with each other.
Oh, wow.
Without needing a central authority like a traditional stock exchange.
So no more middlemen.
Exactly.
That's got to be appealing to some people.
Oh, yeah, especially for those who don't trust the traditional financial system.
Right. It puts you in control.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm liking this Uniswap.
It also allows for faster, cheaper, and more transparent trading.
Wow. Well, Uniswap's going on my list to research.
Okay.
But before we finish this part of our deep dive,
sure,
I want to talk about one more coin. VeChain. It seems to be doing well in the real world.
VeChain focuses on bringing blockchain to the real world.
Okay.
Specifically, they focus on supply chain management. They use blockchain technology to keep track of products from where they're made all the way to the consumer.
That's important.
It makes everything more transparent and efficient.
Yeah.
And secure.
I've seen some big partnerships they've made with companies like Walmart, China, and Renault.
Big names.
Yeah.
That's always a good sign.
So they're gaining traction in the real world.
Definitely.
Which is really promising.
VeChain is a great example of how blockchain can solve real problems and make things better.
So we've covered Bitcoin and Ethereum, Solana, Polkadot, Chainlink, Uniswap, and VeChain. It's amazing how diverse the crypto world has become.
And we've only just started.
Oh.
We still have a couple more to talk about. The ones with the potential to really change things in the next bull run.
You know, our listener loves to hear about these hidden gems.
I know.
Let's talk about them in part 2 of our deep dive.
Sounds good. Welcome back to our deep dive. You know, it's amazing how far crypto has come.
It really is.
From Bitcoin, starting as this niche internet thing, to this massive, constantly changing world we see today.
I know, right? It's crazy how much has changed.
It is.
Even just in the last few years.
It shows how powerful innovation and decentralization can be, and how much people want new financial systems.
I totally agree.
It feels like we're just getting started with what's possible.
Absolutely. It feels like every day there's some new thing coming out.
Yeah.
New project, a new idea.
Right.
Pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible. It's what makes this space so exciting.
It is.
In part 1, we talked about the big names like Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Right.
And then we got into some really cool projects like Solana, Polkadot, Chainlink, Uniswap, and VeChain.
Exactly.
We also talked about a couple of what we call dark horse candidates, Avalanche and Cardano.
Yes.
So let's dive into those a little bit more.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's start with Solana.
Right.
What could really make it successful in the next bull run?
Solana is all about speed and efficiency. It has really low transaction fees, which is great for developers and users.
It's easy to see why, especially when everyone wants things to happen instantly.
Exactly. Solana's speed and low fees are what people are looking for.
Right.
Because in a world where everything is moving faster, people just don't have the patience to wait around.
No.
But it's not only about speed.
Okay.
Solana also has a quickly growing ecosystem of decentralized applications and a very enthusiastic community of developers.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it has the infrastructure and the community to be successful.
Yeah, both of those things are so important for long-term success.
They are.
But some people say that Solana has given up some control in order to be so fast.
Right.
Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, that's a good point to bring up.
Yeah.
It shows the constant challenge in the blockchain world of trying to balance speed, security, and decentralization. Some people argue that the way Solana comes to an agreement, while being efficient, could make it vulnerable to attacks or censorship.
Oh, wow.
It's something to think about when you're looking at its potential.
It's a good reminder that there are always things to weigh up.
Right.
No blockchain is perfect.
Exactly.
Speaking of weighing things up, let's move on to Polkadot.
Okay.
We talked about its focus on interoperability.
Yes.
But are there any real-world examples of how it could be used?
One area where Polkadot could do well is in decentralized identity management.
Okay.
You know, imagine a world where all your digital information is kept safe on a blockchain.
Interesting.
So you have control over your own data.
Okay.
You could choose what information to share with different services and apps without relying on companies like Google or Facebook.
That would be huge.
It would.
It would totally change how we manage our digital lives.
Yeah.
It would give the power back to individuals.
Right.
What are some other use cases that you think are important?
Another area with a lot of potential is supply chain management.
Okay.
You know, we talked about VetChain doing this too.
Right.
Imagine a world where you could track every step of a product's journey from the raw materials to the final product.
Yeah.
And all of it is tracked on a blockchain.
Okay.
This would help stop counterfeiting.
That's a big one.
Make things more efficient and give consumers more confidence in what they're buying.
Wow, that would totally change how we think about trust and transparency.
You would.
In global supply chains.
Yeah.
So Polkadot's not just connecting blockchains, it's connecting businesses, products, and consumers in a way that wasn't possible before. It's pretty mind-blowing.
It is.
I'm really starting to get the power of interoperability.
It's definitely one of the most exciting developments in the blockchain space.
Okay, let's switch gears a little.
Sure.
And talk about Chainlink. It's like a bridge between blockchains and the real world. What are some specific things it could be used for?
That would make it even more popular in the next bull run.
Yeah, exactly.
One area is decentralized insurance.
Okay.
Imagine your insurance claims being processed automatically based on real-world data.
Okay.
That's given to a smart contract through Chainlink.
Wow.
For example, if your flight gets delayed, a smart contract could automatically pay you.
Right.
Based on the flight data from Chainlink.
That would streamline everything.
It would.
Get rid of all the paperwork and bureaucracy.
Exactly.
I can definitely see how that would be appealing.
I can too.
Do you have any other examples of how Chainlink is being used?
To make real-world processes better.
Yeah.
Another exciting area is prediction markets.
Okay.
You know, platforms like Augur and Gnosis, where users can bet on what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
And Chainlink is used to give reliable data to settle those bets.
Interesting.
This could change how we predict all sorts of things,
Okay.
like election results,
Wow.
or how the economy is doing.
It's amazing how blockchain technology
Is.
combined with real-world data can create these whole new ways of doing things.
Right.
Chainlink seems to be at the heart of that.
Yeah. As DeFi keeps growing, Chainlink is going to become even more important.
Okay, let's talk more about Uniswap.
Okay.
We know it's a decentralized exchange, but what could help it grow in the next bull run?
Well, one factor is that people want more privacy and control over their money.
Right.
Traditional exchanges want you to go through all these procedures to verify your identity.
Yeah.
Which can be annoying and take a lot of time.
And feel invasive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Uniswap lets you trade without giving up your personal information.
That's a big deal for people who are concerned about privacy.
It is.
And government surveillance.
Right. It really aligns with the whole idea of decentralization.
Yep.
And giving power to individuals.
Another factor is the growth of DeFi. Uniswap has become the place to trade DeFi tokens.
Right. And as DeFi expands, Uniswap will benefit.
So it's not just an exchange.
No.
It's a gateway to the entire DeFi world.
It is.
That's pretty powerful.
As DeFi grows, Uniswap is in a good position to capture a lot of that market.
Okay, let's go back to VeChain.
Okay.
They're focused on using blockchain for supply chains. You mentioned some impressive partnerships they've made.
Yeah.
What else do they have planned?
One exciting thing is using NFTs to represent physical products.
What does that mean?
Imagine buying a luxury watch.
Okay.
Or a designer handbag.
Yeah.
That comes with an NFT on the blockchain, proving it's authentic.
Wow.
And showing its ownership history.
Okay.
This could change how we think about luxury goods.
Yeah.
And collectibles.
Right.
It makes things more transparent and secure.
That's a great idea.
For both buyers and sellers.
I could see NFTs becoming a common thing.
Yeah.
For expensive items.
It would give buyers peace of mind.
Absolutely.
Knowing they're getting the real thing.
All right, let's move on to our dark horse candidates.
Okay.
Starting with Avalanche.
Sounds good.
What makes it stand out?
Avalanche is all about speed and scalability. It's supposed to be the fastest smart contract platform out there.
Wow.
Able to handle thousands of transactions per second.
Okay.
It does this through its unique way of reaching agreement.
Interesting.
Which uses multiple subnets.
Okay.
To achieve high throughput and low latency.
That's impressive.
Sure.
But other blockchains are also working on this, like Ethereum. How does Avalanche compare to those?
One key difference is that Avalanche's scalability is built into its core.
Okay.
While Ethereum's solutions are added on top.
So it's more integrated.
Yeah.
What about Cardano?
Cardano is known for its rigorous scientific approach to development. It's built on peer-reviewed academic research and has a strong focus on security and sustainability.
Sounds promising.
It also uses a proof-of-stake consensus mechanism,
Right.
which uses less energy than Bitcoin's proof-of-work system.
So Cardano is taking a more careful approach
Yes.
to blockchain development, focusing on the long term.
Exactly.
Is there a specific area where Cardano really shines?
One area is in developing countries.
Interesting.
It focuses on financial inclusion and identity management solutions. So it's a popular choice for projects that want to help underserved communities. For example, Cardano is being used to build digital identity systems in Ethiopia.
Wow.
And to make it easier to get microfinance loans in Africa.
That's great.
It is.
It's awesome to see blockchain technology being used to make a real difference.
Absolutely.
In people's lives.
Cardano's commitment to social good is a big reason why it's becoming more popular.
So in this part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
we've gone into detail about some really fascinating projects.
We have.
From Solana's focus on speed to Polkadot's vision of connection.
Right.
From Chainlink's bridge to the real world to Uniswap's decentralized marketplace.
Yes.
And from Vichain's work on supply chains to Avalanche's scalability and Cardano's social impact.
It's amazing to see.
It's clear that the crypto world is full of innovation.
It is.
And diversity.
And it's only going to keep evolving.
Right.
These projects are likely to play a big role in shaping its future.
But it's not just about individual projects.
That's true.
It's about the big trends that are affecting the whole industry.
Exactly. In part 3 of our deep dive, we'll take a look at the bigger picture and explore what's driving crypto adoption, the challenges the industry is facing, and what the future might hold.
Welcome back to the deep dive. It's been quite a journey so far.
It has.
We've explored so many different coins.
Right.
With the potential to really take off in the next bull run.
From the big names like Bitcoin and Ethereum to the more innovative projects like Solana and Polkadot.
We've seen some really interesting ideas.
We have.
Like Chainlink's Oracle services, Uniswap's decentralized exchange, and Vichain's real-world supply chain solutions.
We even looked at some of those dark horse candidates.
Yeah, like Avalanche and Cardano.
Exactly, each with their own strengths and goals.
Okay, but now it's time to step back a bit.
Okay.
And look at the bigger picture.
Sounds good.
So let's zoom out.
Okay.
And consider the whole crypto ecosystem.
Right.
What are the major forces at play here?
Well, one of the most significant trends is how crypto is becoming more connected with traditional finance.
We've talked about this before.
We have.
With institutions adopting Bitcoin and the rise of DeFi.
It seems like the line between those two worlds is getting blurrier.
It does.
We're seeing more and more overlap. Traditional financial institutions are starting to offer crypto services. And crypto companies are partnering with mainstream businesses.
So these two worlds are kind of merging.
Yeah, and I think this trend is going to continue, which will lead to even more adoption and innovation.
It's exciting to think about what that might look like.
It is.
Another trend to watch is regulation.
Right. Governments are trying to figure out how to regulate cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, it seems like a complicated issue.
It is.
But we can probably expect more clarity in the coming years.
Definitely. And, you know, some people see regulation as a bad thing, but I actually think it could be good for crypto.
Really?
Yeah, I think clear regulation can help build trust and legitimacy. Which could attract more institutional investors.
Interesting.
And mainstream users.
So instead of slowing things down, good regulation could actually help create a more mature and stable crypto market.
Exactly. Regulation can level the playing field, reduce scams and fraud, and make it a safer environment for businesses and investors.
So we've got integrations with traditional finance and increasing regulation. What else should we be paying attention to?
The rise of Web3. Web3 is basically a vision of a more decentralized internet powered by blockchain technology. And cryptocurrencies are a big part of that.
Interesting.
Because they enable new ways to own things digitally, create content, and build online communities.
We've already seen some of this with NFTs and the metaverse.
It feels like we're about to see a major change in how we use the internet.
Yeah. It's really exciting.
Web3 could change everything.
Wow.
Not just finance, but how we consume content, socialize, and even govern ourselves online.
It's a pretty radical idea.
It is.
But it's definitely gaining traction.
It is.
So we have traditional finance embracing crypto, regulation shaping the landscape, and Web3 emerging as this powerful force.
It's hard to say for sure what the future holds.
It is. There's so much happening at once.
But it's clear that the crypto world is at a turning point.
Yeah, the decisions being made today will have a big impact on the future.
They will.
And it's up to all of us, developers, investors, policymakers, and everyday users to make sure that crypto is used for good.
Right.
To promote innovation, empower individuals, and create a more equitable and decentralized world.
Well said.
It's a good reminder that crypto isn't just about making money.
It's not.
It's about building a better future.
Exactly. And as we've seen throughout our deep dive, the projects that are really making a difference are the ones solving real problems, fostering innovation, and thinking about sustainability.
Those are the projects that will be successful in the long run.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up our exploration of the crypto universe, what's the main message for our listener?
The crypto world is complex.
It is.
And always changing.
But it's also full of opportunities to learn, grow, and make a positive impact. So keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions.
That's the best way to navigate this exciting and sometimes confusing world.
And don't be afraid to think for yourself.
Exactly.
Challenge assumptions.
Yes.
And form your own opinions.
The future of crypto is being written right now.
It is.
And we all have a part to play.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of crypto.
It's been a pleasure.
It has. Until next time.
Happy exploring.